So for this reading, I was using the Hello from Heaven spread, and the reading was done on February 27th. And the querent is a lady who's actually been hearing a male calling out to her. Um, and we're using this spread just to kind of find out who that was and the reason behind it. So for this reading, I will be using the Green Witch Tarot deck. And the Hello from Heaven spread is actually a 9-card spread. Now I have 10 cards in this spread here because we had a jumper. So I personally view jumpers as extra messages that your angels and your guides just want you to have. So we had an extra one come up here. Also, because of the nature of this reading, where I'm kind of reaching out to visiting spirit directly, I kind of used extra precaution, I guess I would say. I had a crystal grid going with different stones or different crystals, kind of more for protection as well as for connecting and communication. And I also had a candle burning as well. And what was really interesting during this reading is this candle would be burning, and then while I would do the Hello from Heaven reading, I would have this candle kind of spit and crackle at me. And it was just funny where it would kind of spit and crackle was just kind of being specific part of the reading. It's kind of like, okay, so this is what you want to say. So it was a very interesting reading to do for sure. So before I get started, I just want to take a moment and do a quick prayer. I call upon my angels and my guides to please be in contact and communications with the querents, angels, and guides. May you please provide a clear and accurate reading. I also call upon Archangel Michael so that you may please protect this reading in white light. Great. So for this reading, I'm going to go over the positions here real quick for you. The first one in the middle here talks about the main theme. Then we have the one going across, that's the main challenge. And then we're going to go to the top one, which is going to be how you connect. And then we're going to go below that, which is karma you collect. And then we have how you did and how he or she sees you now. And then how they did and what is left to transform. And then we'll have what gift you get to keep. And then we have the jumper card. So we'll get started with that first one, and again, that's the one that represents the main theme. And for this one here, we have the Two of Pentacles in a reverse situation. So Pentacles tend to talk more about the resources. So it could be money, it could be knowledge, it could be time, it could be work. And normally the Two of Pentacles kind of talks about juggling a lot of things, but in the reverse situation here, it's talking about rigidity or delays, feeling overwhelmed or having trouble being productive. It could be that it's, trying to do so much that you are not effective anywhere. If you got too much going on, you're trying to work on everything at the same time, that you're really not effective in any areas. And we had like big candles spinning during that time as well too. Could be the opportunity that involves, this card can also indicate like an opportunity that involves moving and that you can't or won't move. It's kind of suggesting explore the reason why you are resisting. But it's kind of talking about definitely not doing what you should be doing and not doing it what you should be doing effectively. So it's kind of what this is indicating. This would be kind of the reason he's visiting you, is there's an issue kind of going on where you're not really fully doing what you should be doing. So for the main challenge, we have the Wild Hunt reverse. Now this is the second time you've got the Wild Hunt come up, or the Tower. You also had it in your past life reading, but in this case here it's in the reverse situation. So the Wild Hunt talks about like a big chaotic event or disaster kind of happening, right? This is in the reverse situation, so it's kind of talking more about ongoing chaos or being stubborn. It's also a warning, or kind of a mounting pressure. So it's kind of like saying that things are like brewing, you know what I mean? Like things are brewing and it's kind of saying you're gonna have to change something now before this kind of erupts and kind of explodes, right? So this is kind of what this is definitely a warning for you, and this is probably why you've been hearing the voice now. They're trying to get your attention for sure, because something's coming up and they want you to be aware of it or avoid it, or kind of react to it, or kind of a way of avoiding this. So this card can also indicate that you've been putting up with something, pretending that everything is okay. And then we had a big candle spitter over there too. It's kind of saying a shake-up may cause disharmony, but the changes that occurs will lead to more satisfaction in the long term. So it's kind of saying like I've been kind of going a certain way, and it's might have a big kind of eruption into our shake-up in this situation, but that even though it might feel like a disaster at the time, this is actually going to be for the good in the long term. But so not sure what that's going to be there. The next card that we have, the third card, is how you connect. And for this one, we have the King of Wands in the reverse situation. So Wands is more about events or passions and that sort of stuff. And this is a royal, so I see royals as representing an individual. So that would make sense since this is kind of explaining who this person is to you, right? So with the King of Wands, we have something that's in the reverse situation is describing someone that's being inauthentic, egotistical, selfish, temperamental, have a lot of rage or lust. So now in the past life reading, it kind of had come up that the voice that's been reaching out to you is a past relationship that you were part of, and that relationship was really difficult, and he was really not treating you correctly, which is what this card is indicating here as well, right? This gentleman was really harsh on you, and when his life ended and he reviewed his entire life, he kind of realized just the impact that he had on you, and that's probably the reason why he's following you now, trying to kind of right the wrongs that he created for you and for your soul. So this is why he's following you now. This is why he's trying to guide you now and trying to help now, right? So the next card that we have here, so this is going to be the fourth card, and this talks about the karma you collect. And for this one here, we have the High Priestess card. So High Priestess card is the card of inner wisdom. It's the card of being receptive in spirituality and meditation. So it's kind of interesting that this is kind of coming up, because it's kind of saying trust your intuition, and like you have been getting those messages come through, right? So it's kind of saying this might be a good time to kind of spend time a little bit in solitude and silence, meditate, pay really close attention to your dreams, and see what, kind of do some meditation so that you can hear what the message is. Then we're going to go to the fifth card, and the fifth card indicates how you did. And for this one, we have the High Priest reverse. So we got the High Priestess, the High Priest. You got a lot of major arcana cards in this reading right now. We've got 3 so far. I see the major arcana cards to kind of indicate, if it's in a paragraph, the phrase that's the major arcana has an exclamation mark to it. So it's kind of like pay closer attention to us. So we have the High Priest in the reverse situation here. So again, this one here talks about, problem with traditions and social norms. The way things are usually done may not be working for you. So to me, I could see that would have been like how your relationship would have been with this person, because If he mistreated you and you kind of stayed there, you definitely had to put up with something because that's what was expected of you, but that was really not serving you. This may be coming up and he may be visiting you now because you're in a similar situation where you're doing something because you feel it's expected, you feel you have to, but it's not the situation that is best serving you. And it kind of mention, like kind of getting involved here, kind of saying, you need to change this, right? So the next card that we have here, card number 6, is going to be how he or she sees you now. And for that one, we have the 8 of Pentacles in the reverse situation. So again, Pentacle has more to do with the resources, could be finance, could be work, could be time or knowledge. Normally, the 8 of Pentacles is more about kind of owning your skills, spending time kind of making your skill better. In this case, however, it is in the reverse situation. So I'm kind of seeing this one as being kind of like no progress, unfulfilled work, lacking the skills or wasting the skills, and cutting corners. So it's a bit of a theme here. So definitely, because we had, like with the main event, the 2 Pentacles reverse is kind of talking about this as well, and so is this here. It almost seems that it might be on the work side because it is the Pentacle card that's coming up, that you're not doing what you should be doing. Now, in your past life reading in the arts as well, it just kind of come up that, maybe that's what it's kind of reflecting to, where you need to be doing something that's a little bit more creative, kind of explore those avenues. But this is kind of really saying, like, right now, either you're not fulfilling what you should be fulfilling, or you're not being as effective as you should be, or you're on the wrong path completely and you're doing you're not doing what you're meant to be doing. So it's kind of what he's kind of seeing you for right now. So this is his view of your situation right now, and this is kind of why he's involved. So yeah, food for thoughts for sure. Now for the next card that we have, the card 7, is how they did. And for the how they did card, he's got the 7 of Athenes in the reverse position. So Athenes, and with this one here, is the swords in the regular tarot card decks. So the theme has more to do about the thoughts, the logics, the mindset. So this is kind of how he's seeing, or how he's thinking of the situation, right? So with this one here, it talks about facing the consequences, guilt, regrets, choosing to do the right thing now. So, and that really kind of goes along with what we've kind of been seeing happening all along, right? He's treated you right in a past life, has treated you wrong in a past life, and this is his way of making that right. It's got a lot of guilt and regrets over that, because when he had a review of his life, he saw just how much that had affected you. So now this is his way of trying to make right of the wrongs that he created, and trying to deal with that guilt and the regrets of what he did in this past life. So it's kind of interesting. Now the next card that we have, this is what is left to transform. And for this card, we have the 3 of Pentacles. So again, Pentacles, that talks about the resources, the work, finance, time, or knowledge. The 3 of Pentacles talks about assistance, contributions, mentor, planning, teamwork, employment. It's kind of saying a project is beginning to manifest. So, he's definitely there to assist on this side here, which kind of goes with everything that we've had here, very much. And I'm kind of seeing that you're meant to do something that would suit you a lot better, that would kind of serve you a lot better, on the work front or skill wise, like something that you should be doing, but for some reason you're not doing it. Something's holding you back, and I don't know if it's your current relationship, because the damage that he did to you in a past life with how he treated you may have you kind of getting into relationships that aren't fully serving you. But it could be the relationship you're in that's kind of holding you back, or it could just be the circumstances that you're in that's holding you back. And that's kind of what he's here to do, is trying to help assist teamwork and trying to make sure that you're on the right path of where your soul's supposed to be going and what you're supposed to be doing. Now, for the last card of this spread here, and this card talks about what gifts you get to keep. And for this card, we have the Three of Wands in the reverse situation. So, talks about apprehension, lacking skills or resources. It could also be like thinking too small, or need for additional planning. So, like, definitely. And you know, you kind of had that in the general reading with the mountain thing too, right? Like, you can't go too fast into this thing. You need to think this through. You need to plan this out. This is kind of what this is saying as well. Now, we've had a few here that kind of did talk about travel. So I don't know if you have an opportunity here that's kind of been presented to you that would require for you to relocate or to move, and that may be what it's kind of talking about, because we have the boat here as well. So there is been a bit of a moving theme as well in your readings, and that may be something that kind of has to come about, and then you're kind of not entertaining that because of the moving aspect of it. But you know, have a really deep look into the situation. Take a step back, but whatever it is you do decide to do, you're going to have to make sure that you plan this out properly. Don't rush into it. And then for the final card, which was the jumper card that you had, we have the Six of Wands. So again, Wands is about the passion, the creativity, the events, and the Six of Wands is a very kind of it's a good positive card. It's a very public card as well, because this was the card that would kind of talk about public recognition, being seen as a role model, or promotion, praise, and kind of like great self-confidence. So, you know, this is, because this is a jumper, I'm kind of seeing that this is what they're trying to get for you. There's something lined up for you that, you know, would be very uplifting, very rewarding, and kind of recognize in the public eye that they feel you deserve, you should have. And this is why you're kind of getting these, have them reaching out to you, and this is why you're kind of hearing them calling out to you, is because this is what they're trying to help you reach. And they feel that that's the path you're meant to be on, and right now you're kind of either avoiding it or you're not aiming that way, so they want to kind of snap you back into place. So this was the Hello from Heaven spread. I hope that this has kind of clarified some of the you know, the circumstances around what's happening with you, and I hope that it really resonated with you. Have a blessed day.